welcome. And welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. If you're here, you're a 2/4 human design profile or the Hermit Opportunist. For some reason, I'm like, well, there's a link in the description below. If you don't know what your profile is, it's interesting. I haven't felt called to say that in any of the other readings. So, you know, we go where the energy takes us, as long as it feels good, right? So I know that I said that I would have, like some literature, or because I think it would be really cool to just present, some other people's perspectives. And of course, give them a shout out too. And I love learning other people's perspectives of information. Just, feels expansive. But anyway, I did not have the mental capacity to do that this time around, to go out and search for it. So we're just going to kind of just do a quick overview of your profile. The last 3 readings that we did, we read out of the Definitive Book of Human Design. Okay. Cards are popping, so that's good. We're getting there. But before we do, let's just kind of, like I said, recap your profile. So, Hermit Opportunist, that second line, Hermit. What to say about you guys? One of my favorite profiles. A lot of my best friends are 2/4s. So it's cool to even kind of see the profile in action, But that second line, Hermit, likes to be alone, right? Like needs to kind of take a break from peopling or doing whatever you're doing. There's also this natural aptitude, this natural talent that comes along with the second line. And it's not necessarily like you're good at absolutely everything that you do. You can be one of those people that I'm super jealous of, that are just good at everything that they pick up. But it's kind of like you find something that you enjoy doing and it just comes naturally to you. Like you don't even know, you're like, I don't know, I just do this, right? While other people outside of you are like, oh my gosh, you're amazing at this. It's so good. Have a good response to it. And that is also a product of that second line. It's kind of like, you need those projections of other people to be recognized, to almost be called out of your cave, right? And then you have that 4th line, Opportunist, but that's more of like a networking community line, right? Like having that community around you, or at least just having some sort of a network. Like it almost kind of makes you feel secure. Also, I mean, you might be a what's the word? Like an advocate for the underdog. Because, first of all, you recognize the importance of networking or knowing people and being in friendships, right? So if you come across somebody who maybe you just recognize would kind of struggle with that, you might just kind of take them under your wing a little bit, which, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that, but where it kind of starts blurring that line is if they are not a healthy relationship to be associated in, right? But like all of your best opportunities are going to come from your network. So, if you are looking for a job, if you are looking for a handyman, if you're You know, looking for restaurant, you know, recommendation, or if you're looking for a relationship, even, those opportunities are going to come from within your network. Not necessarily the direct people that you know, but just putting the word out there, mentioning it to a friend, and then, you know, they might mention it to somebody else, or they hear something from somebody else, and all of a sudden that opportunity finds its way back to you. So if you kind of find yourself struggling a little bit to find opportunities, look within your network. And of course, as with everything, your strategy and authority will help you decide which one of those experiences or relationships would be quote unquote correct to enter into, because just because it shows up does not mean it's correct for you. So that strategy and authority is going to help you navigate that. Navigate those decisions. And I always like Brene Brown is a 2-4. I think I've mentioned that before. My mom is a 2-4. And like I said, you know, I have like a handful of other really close friends that are 2-4s also. So you guys are a favorite of mine. So let's kind of shuffle with intention here. We'll get a message for our hermit opportunists. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Coming in hot with the Fool, 9 of Wands, King of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups has been coming out so many times. We saw this one pop out a little bit earlier. Is that the Justice card? Mm-hmm. Ooh, and then Strength at the bottom of the deck. The World. Holy cow. You guys. Wow. Beautiful. I mean, we'll go through the cards as we do. I love that we start with the Fool card. Like, wow. Clearly, there's a brand new journey taken off here. I see, you know, like the Fool is kind of that energy right before, like, you know, it's that decision to move forward. It's that decision to take that leap of faith, right? It's the commitment to a new path. It feels very guided, though. And just the way this wolf is looking at this rabbit here. I mean, rabbits indicate fertility, which is, you know, like fertility of opportunities or abundance. I mean, it could be, of course, like literal fertility, but it's kind of like, follow me, you know, this is the way to opportunity. And then there's this wolf back here that's like, what are you doing? It definitely seems like, you know, this is either something that you have been like potentially resistant to, or it's, you know, kind of been like a long time coming. It could have been kind of a long path to get here. It could have even been, you know, the prior thing, the prior cycle, you know, was maybe it needed to be kind of buttoned up, you know, and it's taken a little bit of time to do that. We have the Four of Pentacles down here, and the Four of Pentacles generally talks about holding on a little too tight. Like not wanting to let go of what you have, because it's, you know, tap dancing on that line of scarcity and lack. You know, like you want to hold on too much, because you feel like if you let go, you would just lose it all. And even the rabbit again. Oh my gosh. Okay. I wanted to look up the book again because, because it does talk about the cool dance between this fox and rabbits. But look at, like, that rabbit is the same as this rabbit. But also, this fox up here is the same as this fox. I mean, it literally is the same imagery, which is, you know, but it's just interesting how we have that, mirroring on these cards. Okay, so it says when the Four of Pentacles appears, you may need to examine how control or your need for it impacts a situation. Are you oh my gosh. Are you or someone else holding on to something so tightly that there is no room for growth? Why can I not read? Excuse me. An example of this may be someone who cannot let go of some tasks at work, who is unwilling to relinquish control to a coworker or hire help. This may, in the end, cause stagnation or less productivity. The question you may want to ask yourself is, are you saving or investing? One grows and the other stays the same. The rabbit brings abundance, so call on this energy, but don't restrict it. Let it run free. Release the fox to do what it does best. Be nimble and clever. When you use the fox and the rabbit in harmony, you will have the skills needed to bring about a positive shift, and with it, an abundant harvest. So yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's this feeling of like something is trying to get going here, but it's kind of, you know, like there's this, like it was saying, either too much control on it, where, you know, it's just not able to like flow. And then it's interesting up here because with the Nine of Wands, which is, you know, this fox, so this rabbit comes down here, this fox goes up here. I love that. That is so cool. That is so cool. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's, you know, somebody who has been through the ringer, has not been easy, been taking some blows, you know, like life just kind of has been lifing, right? But it's resilient and persistent. Like, you know, it may feel like you're a little bit beat up, but you're still trying, right? Like you're still out there. You're still trying to get this thing going here. Feeling a little bit, you know, I'm just going to kind of climb up on this stump and just kind of rest for a second. But also, you know, the 9 is a completion. It's an individual completion. So you're like putting in as much effort, as much work, as much worry, or right, because wands have to do with action, communication. It's also the card of information. Either you're getting information or you are giving it. I kind of want to see what the book says about this. I haven't actually. Boundaries. You will need to step back and take a break. Otherwise, you may risk hurting yourself or derailing your progress. Oh, I stopped for a second because my dog was going to bark, and then he decided not to, and now he might decide to again. If the work must continue, you may need to call in support or delegate tasks. Yeah. Which is interesting because that was kind of, you know, with the 4 of Pentacles was talking about, like, are you trying to do everything yourself, or is there a way to offload some of, you know, or again, you know, like kind of like I was saying at the beginning, your network, your community, Facebook groups, you know, those are going to be the best resources for you. But I don't know. I mean, it might even just be that, like, it's like you're ready for this change because maybe this has been an energy that you've been in for some time. Feeling overwhelmed. Now, Pentacles have to do with money, resources, our time. It could even be our physical body. So, you know, like I said, Wands having to do with action. Like, what are you actually putting your time and your money and your resources into, right? Like, and this would be telling me that you're trying to put it into getting something new going. Because, like, you know, like, it's interesting how like these 3 cards and then these 3 cards, because here again we have this new beginning. Cups having to do with our emotions, loving what we do, feeling fulfilled. There he goes barking. Okay. Sorry if you hear my dog panting in the background. He was sprinting. So, like we were talking about with this Ace of Cups, right? Like feeling fulfilled, feeling rejuvenated, cup is flowing over, right? So not only is it full, but it's overflowing. There's more than enough here. You feel like you have more than enough, which at that point you're like, you know, I actually do have the energy to share with other people. And that's when we move on to the 2 of Cups, right? But this is, again, like this is a thing that you have been working so hard for, is this Ace of Cups feeling. Something new, like something that makes you feel good, right? I always say we go where the energy takes us as long as it feels good, right? I mean, this could even be trying to control the outcome. Like there could be something new that's starting. And again, like, you might just be, your hand may be a bit too far in the cookie jar. Like you might just be trying to be too controlling of how it looks, how it unfolds, how it opens up for you. Because it's kind of like I'm getting this feeling with this King of Swords and this owl here. It's kind of like the energy, it's like it knows what to do. Because, swords have to do with our mind, right? Our thoughts, the way we perceive things. It's also, I see it as being a card of ego. The King of Swords is very clear. There's a discipline of thought here. Almost, like kind of strategic, like, I mean, the king is the highest expression of the suit, right? So they've been through all of it, very experienced. That's why, owls represent wisdom. I mean, of course, this can be like you just, like I said, like you have a very clear picture of how you want this thing to go, how you want it to unfold, how you want it to be, right? And there's not anything wrong with that, but there's very little room for surprise, right? I mean, like there's very little room for, little gifts here and there, because you wouldn't even see them, because if it doesn't fit into, what you already see it as, you won't recognize anything else. And we have this Page of Cups down here, and I feel like that's almost saying, to kind of allow there some space for some magic to happen, because, the Page of Cups pages are the youngest of the court cards, right? So they have kind of that like childlike innocence to them. So there is a lot of imagination here. But also, I mean, like here's this Ace of Cups here. Right? So, I mean, like it's coming. It's like, there is an offer coming, or, this unfolding is definitely, it's in the works already. But again, it's like, create some space for the unknown also. I kind of want to see. Yeah, I mean, this is just talking about like approaching things in an energy of love. And then we have the Strength card at the bottom of the deck. Again, and then the World right after that. It's like, all of this persistence is, you know, I mean, it's coming to a head here. Like, it is going to pay off. We have the Emperor behind there that talks about authority, being a leader. Again, you know, it's like you're going to reach your goals. Ten of Pentacles, right? Like legacy, abundance, having enough. Nine of Pentacles, individual success, financial freedom, financial independence. So yeah, I mean, you know, don't even worry about it. But also, you know, just know that this hard work that you have been putting in, it is going to pay off. But again, you know, like there is this kind of undertone, like message of loosening your grip a little bit on exactly how it unfolds, or even what the final picture is going to look like. Because it's always going to work out for your highest good. Always. And sometimes, you know, those little surprises, those little gifts along the way are kind of those things that help us keep going too. They fill our cup here. But it just makes it so much better. I love this. New journeys. I love this. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I was just looking at these cards one more time because I'm like, wait a second. Okay, before I am actually done, just, you know, this top row here, we can't get around this Fool, right? I mean, like you are starting off on something, and you know, this Nine of Wands, it may not be easy, of course, but it will be worth it, right? And this is kind of this energy of remembering the why. You know, really kind of, you know, keeping those, like having this discipline of thought. Like, don't allow yourself to kind of get stuck in those, in this kind of energy here, because this is something, it's like a transitionary period. And like I said, it's a 9, which means it's at the end, it's completion. So, you know, just recognize that this would be temporary. But down here is more so, even this bird, these birds here, these red birds, same here. Which is interesting. This could even be, you know, like holding on too much to the past. Again, holding on too much to like expectation. There's, you know, this brand new love of something, having your cup overflowing, and then moving on to the Page of Cups here with it being, you know, almost kind of propped up here. Like I said, you know, the Page of Cups could be some sort of offer coming in, but it could just be finding that thing that you love, because this bird here, these birds, and it being over here, it's almost kind of like you find, it's like you find your niche, or you find the exact thing that you were looking for. And like I said, it may not be what you think it is right now. It may not even be something completely different, but it might just not be what you like have in your mind's eye right now. So allow space for that to happen, you know? Okay. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much again. Bye.